Hi, Amber. Okay, cool. That's so weird. It didn't show up like that anybody was watching, and but I got your comment. Now it's showing up. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I have to be honest, like, hey, Jen. I'm gonna try really hard not to cry, but I might, so bear with me. It's funny, yesterday, Blake asked me, I think it was maybe yesterday, he was asked how my day was going, and I was like, I mean, I feel kind of emotionally unstable today, and like I might have a breakdown at any point. And it was probably, I don't know, it was like after lunch sometime. He like didn't text me back, and then he got home later, and it was really funny. But anyway, so I know I've totally learned that. I used to never cry. I used to always like my kids like had not seen me cry, I feel like. And I learned really fast that obviously that's A, very unhealthy. But B, not only, you know, I mean, they need to know that their parents have emotions, but people also need to cry. You know, you don't need to hold your emotions in. And so sometimes I'm crying at home. Sometimes I'm crying like in line at the grocery store. And it's like, my cry is like my nose swells. I get bright red. I like snot everywhere. So anyways, I am, hi, Shonda, Leah, Jamie, oh my gosh, Brittany, Angie, hello, everybody. So has everybody read the thing that I posted earlier? Because this might not make sense, if you haven't. Yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. Like, gorgeous crier. Oh yeah. Like, I mean, I can shed one tear and I swear my face, it's bright red instantly. I was gonna try really quick one thing. Hey, Christine. Let me see if I was going to see if anybody that is on my Lincoln group, which could share it in my Lincoln group. Hey, Amber, are you, I don't know, for some reason I feel like you might be you might be on the Justice for Lincoln group. If you are, can you share this live feed to that page? Because I don't know how. I thought I did, but I don't. So, okay, I want to talk about, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to, hey, Samantha. Hi, Lori. I'm going to, like, swipe away from the comments because I just get too distracted and, I'll lose my train of thought and I won't finish. So I wanted to kind of like, you know, start by, I'm assuming everybody read that thing. I wrote that. I did a lot of journaling after Lincoln passed, and I didn't know, just like in the notes in my phone, just kind of what I was feeling and thinking and what my emotions were at different points, you know, throughout all of this stuff. And I, you know, when everything happened, you know, well, to start, I had taken sleeping medicine around like 11 or midnight, and then woke up at 2, to Lincoln not responsive, and went to the hospital. And so I had, from 2 in the morning on, I was awake. And so after Mercy, we went to Tulsa, And I was awake that entire day, but I was not, I was awake, but I was hysterical and not really functioning. I couldn't eat. I couldn't, calm down. I mean, I was hysterical. It's the only way I know how to explain it. And, that day, that evening, I think it was, the hospital made the decision to give me, I don't know, I'm not sure. I think maybe Ativan or something, even though I wasn't a patient, to kind of, I guess, get me to calm down some. And so I don't know if my memory is foggy because of that, or just because of the situation itself. So Tristan and Tripp both came to the hospital to visit him, and I remember Tristan coming. Tripp came a few hours later, and I have no recollection of him coming to the hospital or seeing him that day or anything. And I remember when they came back and said that, Lincoln didn't have any brain activity. They were discussing removing him from life support. And at this point, I had known for a little while, because one of the the main doctor told me that, he had, less than a 10% chance, and that 10% chance at being, a vegetable, basically. So, I'm sorry, hold on, guys. Whoops. I just saw a thing pop up on my computer. I figured out how to share it to that page. Sorry. Okay. So, my mind I knew, but my heart just could not accept that, and I wanted to hold him, obviously. They came, when they came in and said that, there was just no chance, I asked them if I could rock him to sleep one last time, and they wouldn't let me. And so that just crushed me. I mean, it absolutely killed me. And I think I was mad, and I was devastated, and I was confused, and I was not in my right mind, and I, throughout this whole time, there was people, that were just, laying, had, right by his bed. Victoria, his nanny, his old nanny, was one of them, her mom, and I found myself really struggling to sit there at his bed and see him like that. So, I would for a little while, but then I would have to leave the room. I don't know why, in my mind at that point, I wasn't thinking, this is the last time I'm going to get to be in his presence, whether I can hold him or not, this is the last time, and I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. So, a lot of the time I sat, over on the little window cubby, and I don't know. I don't know. I just sat there. and, you know, I didn't have my phone. I didn't have, I don't know. I just sat there. And, so, you know, after he passed, you know, within, I mean, that first week is all just kind of like a blur, but, not too far out, you know, I started feeling really guilty about, the way that I handled him passing, or, you know, like those last moments. I started just feeling insanely guilty. I started, you know, it's like mom guilt, like times like infinity, you know, and then I joined these mom groups, these, you know, like child loss groups, and, you know, a lot of them were talking about how they had like locks of hair, or how they did the handprints and the feet prints, which the hospital gave us, well, they gave me this hand, you know, this, to make like the, I don't know, ceramic hand and feet prints, but I don't remember them giving it to me, and my stepmom had flown in, but she got there a little later, and I don't know, I guess I was maybe trying to tell her, like, what they were for, but I was under, I don't know, I was under the impression that I was supposed to give them to the hospital, or to the funeral home, and so, that didn't get done, and, I don't know, I mean, honestly, I don't remember even, like, I don't remember, you know, I don't know, but you know, so all these people have, like, you know, just little things they had, you know, like I said, like locks of hair, like the handprints, the feet prints, all this stuff. And like, even, you know, like Victoria thought to, you know, like she took this really perfect, sweet picture of like, you know, her hand and his hand. And I'm just like, why did I not think of these things? You know, like that was my chance and I like blew it, you know, I don't know. So I couldn't, like there was a lot of like, you know, should have, could have, would have, like, it was eating me alive. And I spent months and months and months trying to understand, trying to figure out why I acted like that, why I reacted like that, and why I handled it, you know, that way. And I couldn't figure out, you know, is that, just because I was hysterical? Was it because I had taken this medicine? Was it, you know, like my brain's defense mechanism to, I don't know, like I couldn't figure it out. And, you know, after a really long time, I realized it's really simple, you know, like, I'm only human, like, we don't come pre-wired, you know, to handle catastrophic life events. We don't, you know, like, that was undoubtedly, like, the most traumatizing thing that I will ever go through in my entire life, you know, and we don't know how to act. We don't know how to react to that. Like, it's just human nature. You don't know. Everybody reacts differently. And, I had never thought about what I would do if I lost one of my kids. That was just something that, I had never planned for. I didn't know, you know, I had not ever planned, for one of my children to die. And so I didn't have any, like, any idea on what to do or any arrangements, or I need to make sure I do this, or I need to make sure I do that. I didn't have any of that. And so, you know, after a really long time of feeling really guilty, I just decided, you know, like I had to let go of my mistakes and my failures. I needed to keep the lessons that I learned there, you know, but I had to like let the guilt part go. Like, guilt does nothing. It just consumes your thoughts, you know, and it does nothing for your future. And I just got to a point where I know that Lincoln would much rather my thoughts be on, like, saving other babies, you know, or, you know, helping women, you know, working through whatever guilt they might have, or, you know, self-limiting beliefs or things like that. And, you know, like, one thing that gets me through a lot of days is I know that Lincoln is here, you know, I know that he's up there watching down, and the last thing in the world I want him to think is, I don't want him to see me sad all the time. I don't want him to think that, man, you know, I went down there for 18 months just to ruin the next 50 years of this lady's life, you know? And so I strive to, like, make him happy, you know, and proud of me. And so, you know, that I carried that with me for a really long time, and it sucked really bad. Honestly, like, it really, really sucked. And I forgot I was going to swipe over and open these. And oh, thank you, Amber. So, I'm sorry, these are all just, I guess these are all coming through. I thought they would already be there and I would be able to go back. Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't even have, I couldn't even help plan his funeral. I didn't have any funeral arrangements pre-made, obviously. And I couldn't even help, they kept trying to involve me, and I just could not. I could not do it, you know, and I had a lot of guilt with that too, you know. I really, of course, you know, a couple weeks after he was already buried, I was like, I want him cremated, you know. I didn't want, I decided, you know, that I would have rather him be cremated, and so, that really bothered me for a long time, and honestly, it still does, you know, kind of to this day. But I didn't even know. I knew what cemetery we were burying him at, but I didn't even know the plot or anything because I just could not bring myself to be involved in it. I just couldn't, you know. Hold on, I gotta scroll back up. Oh, I love you, Victoria. Victoria's the little sister I never wanted, guys. Just kidding, kind of. No. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so, I mean, you have to, oh, Mandy, you have to. I do love you. You have to, otherwise it'll literally consume. You know, you have to learn from, like, think about, like, mom guilt, and it's, gosh, you know, like, that's like my biggest thing, you know? Like, top of the list, you know? But I remember I felt guilty for so long after Lincoln was born. You know, he was in the NICU for almost 3 months. And so I hired a babysitter to stay with the big kids at, you know, in the evening, at night. You know, I would go home and spend a couple hours with them while the NICU was closed. And then I would go to the NICU after they went to bed. And I went right back to work so I could save my maternity leave. And so, but even when I was home with the big kids, you know, like, mentally I was not there because I was so worried about Lincoln. And I felt so insanely guilty for the longest time over that. And that was something that, like, I was doing the best that I could, you know. I was a single mom and, obviously the breadwinner, and, so, I mean, that was, and that's all you can do is, like, you just have to do, like, the best that you can, you know. And so, obviously, I let go of that guilt a long time ago, you know, but, oh, sorry. Thank you, guys. Oopsies. So I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of share that. So I started putting a lot of these, like, a lot of my notes from, you know, after Lincoln passed. I have only done a few so far, but I plan on putting them, like, into, you know, my blog and going back and kind of, like, updating, you know, a lot of it's, like, how it was, you know, my emotions then, how I was feeling then, how I was thinking then, and then going in and updating, like, how I'm feeling about it now and how I, you know, what my emotions are and, why I think I felt how I felt then, you know. And so I hope that, I mean, I think that it'll probably help some other, you know, moms that are struggling with this, because I know I really struggled to find, like, I didn't find some of the online groups until later on, and the ones that I found that actually meet, or was not something that worked for me. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here because I have a lot of work to do, but I'm doing this, if you have missed it, I'm doing a live, like, for 2 weeks straight. I'm trying to test some, like, analytic stuff. So, yesterday my live thing was at the game because I didn't know we were going to the game. So, I hope this helps somebody. You're welcome, Casey. All right, thank you guys. Bye.